If you would have asked me, I don't know, 3 years ago, maybe 4, if I was going to be a meditation teacher one day, I probably would have told you no. At that point, I wasn't even doing meditation myself. In fact, I wasn't even a shadow work teacher at that point in time, or a shadow work coach. All of it happened very suddenly, very unexpectedly. In fact, at that point in time, about 4 years ago, I was only doing shadow work for myself as a healing technique, just to help myself through some trauma, to help myself grow, to help myself get out of some bad mindset patterns. Shadow work was my tool, my resource to grow and to learn. In fact, the only reason that I am here right now is because of one small conversation that happened out of nowhere and completely escalated into a series of amazing events. And let me tell you that story real quick. It all started at a random full moon ceremony in a friend's witchy shop. And originally, it was just a bunch of us little witches talking about crystals. And some people realized that I had a lot of knowledge about crystals that no one else had. And I was asked to teach a crystal workshop in that shop by the owner and the participants. But I didn't feel comfortable. Something about it was telling me it's not the right time. You have the knowledge, you have the ability, just something's not right. And as the conversations progressed, somehow we got on the topic of shadow work. And blah, I word vomited all about shadow work. We were talking about Carl Jung. We were talking about history of shadow work. We were talking about prompts. We were talking about all the good stuff. And I looked around in that moment. I realized everyone's eyes were on me. And I froze like a deer in the headlights. And I was like, oh, everyone's staring at me. Nobody else is talking. What is going on? And in that moment, there was a pause. You could hear the crickets. And then they were like, that's the class you need to teach right there. That's the workshop you need to teach, because this is where you need to start talking. Like you have the voice. And I was like, face turned bright red. I looked at the shop owner and I was like, help me, help. And she was like, when can you teach a shadow work workshop? That wasn't the answer you were supposed to give. Again, fight or flight, fawn response went on. Eyes went wide. I was like, what? She goes, let's set up a time. And I was scared. The nerves, I was like, I'm doing what now? But I was like, my gut told me, this will be okay. This will be okay. So I did. And I taught my first workshop. And I had like 5 people show up. And we did our first workshop. We went through a couple of prompts. We had some amazing, transformative experiences. And I ran into a person about a week later who was experiencing some really difficult downward spirals. And I explained to them, like, have you been doing self-care? Have you been meditating? Have you been doing any of your self-care shadow work? And no. But we talked about this. This is why it's important to do self-care with shadow work. And she's like, oh, well, I didn't. She went home. She did some self-care. She got her back to baseline and everything was better. We're going to have to do a part 2. So check out the part 2 in the next video. So part 2 of how I became a meditation teacher. So if you remember, I'm just like out of nowhere in the middle of this presentation accidentally talking about shadow work. And then a week after I did this workshop, I'm explaining the importance of self-care to a person who had had a downward spiral after not doing their self-care. So it made me realize, if I'm going to be teaching these shadow work workshops and teaching the importance of self-care, I'm going to have to take this a step further. So we're going to start doing meditations in our shadow work workshops. So I sat down, I did some research, started practicing meditation myself, got myself a meditation teacher certificate so that I was legit. And whenever I did my next meditation or my next shadow work workshop in that shop, we did a meditation to begin. And it went off amazing. Everybody left feeling great. The responses were just astronomical. I had started a shadow work prompt newsletter, and we were doing some amazing work before I had moved out of Pennsylvania. But from there, it was like meditation became part of my own personal practice because I realized the importance of meditation. So when I moved out of Pennsylvania, I was still meditating every day. So when I did my first TikTok live, that was my idea, to bring meditation to the world. Okay, maybe not the world, but to whoever would be willing to want to do it with me. I didn't know what else to do. So what else do I have to give? Shadow work and meditation. So that's what I brought. I brought meditation to my TikTok channel. So my first TikTok live, I got on, talked about a little bit of shadow work, did some meditation, and it was kind of a hit. So here we are, 6 to 8 months later, still doing meditations. Now I teach meditation classes in shops around the North Carolina area. I am a meditation teacher on the Insight Timer app, and part of my own Glow program that I'm going to be, that I have releasing soon, is a meditation teacher certificate. This is such a core foundation of my personal practice and my history now. If I was going to write the biography of Stacy, meditation teacher is now part of it. So much so that, like, when my father was visiting, I got him on the Insight Timer app, and he meditates now. It is part of who I am. It's part of what I do. It's part of what I teach, and it's part of what I share. And now it's part of what I am going to be offering to the people who take my program so that they can go out and share it with the world as well. Meditation has so many physical and mental and emotional benefits, and that is a video all on its own. Maybe we should do a part 3. What do you think? Would you like to see a part 3 on all of the amazing benefits just for meditation alone? Let me know in the comments if you want a part 3. All right, guys, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.